Scaling Ventures, first and foremost, is a community for rapid growth companies and rapid growth careers. So our intention is really to connect people, ideas, and resources, right? That's what we're all about. And for the companies that make it, right, to that next stage, to after the startup, there was nothing. There was no access to thought leadership. There was no opportunity to network and kind of swap notes with your peers. So we started this event series, hoping to kind of create that setting and create the space for those types of interactions.
So I think when I look at a team and I think about growing a business, you have to have an equal balance of high value and high potential people. High potential people are the people that are going to pull the organization forward. They're going to take stretch assignments. They're going to be able to slot up into the next position or the next size company-wise, right? So as you go from B to C, they can ride alongside the business and scale up. But the people that are high value are the ones that are sort of have built the day-to-day, if you will. They're the people that the new people look at as the culture carriers, the culture bearers in an organization, and they're the people that you have to find places for. I think the middle ground to what we're talking about also is helping people get to where they can from a capability standpoint, but I think a lot of organizations also push people into roles they're not ready for early, and then you're setting people up for failure, right?
And so helping somebody find leverage in their role could mean hiring people under them, it could mean hiring people parallel to them, and it could actually mean layering them and giving them a boss to take a lot of the management load off of them so that they can be freed up to do something more creative or take more risks in their job.
If I was walking into an organization, all I would need to do is stand in the middle of the room and look at the one cube that everybody was running to throughout the course of the day, and I'd be like, that's my guy or girl. That's the person I'm going to. That'd be the only person I'd be paying attention to, because titles are meaningless in an early stage company.
I think for a small company, it's interesting because sometimes you have to do things in order to get to a certain level of recognition and credibility in the marketplace. And so you have to make these different decisions along the way. And I think I have the luxury today, you know, again, being a little bit more of a mature company at 8 years old, to make decisions purely based on, you know, needs of the company and so on and so forth.
Okay, so this notion of revenue, right, where if we think about it, again, in the context of that next stage of growth, right, early days, revenue is like this mythical word where it's like all of a sudden you pick your head up and we have some revenue, we have some customers. Oh my gosh, you know, we caught lightning in a bottle. How do we catch it again? Or how do we now keep our customers, right? What happens when they start churning and you start to burn through that growth trajectory?
Top line sales feels good at first, but managing that revenue in a door and then expanding on that revenue is really where the skill set starts to take hold.
Right, the group that you start with is going to look really different when you get to 50 people and 100 people. It's exactly the same thing with the way that you're acquiring your customers. But what we say is that you're not really ready to start scaling sales in your organization until you can write down who your customer is, write down how to find them, and then what to say, and then how to get them to buy.
Man, I have a new appreciation for brand. And most of my recent work has been thinking about how to refresh brands, how to inject life and into something that is, and more often than not, right, as we've spoken about kind of this business life cycle, is that when you get to this new Series A-ish, if we want to just speak about it very simply, you have new resources to bear. And so it's how do you inject new life in the brand without selling out, without losing touch with who you are and what made you successful. And it is tough. But the notion of talent-enabled brands, right? And that it really boils down to cultures that know how to deliver brand. And something that you mentioned that I absolutely love, and I think SoulCycle is a perfect example of this, but thinking big and acting small. So could you give us the scoop on that?
I'm a big fan of freedom within a framework. I think you need to think big but act small. So especially in retail companies, I think the best brands understand that, you know, the staff at an Equinox on 63rd and Lexington should probably feel different than the staff at Soho Equinox, right? And I think allowing that sort of freedom within a framework allows the localized brands to really sort of build their own identities. And I think when people feel like they can participate with a group of like-minded individuals in a mission that they're proud of, they take a lot more care of the business, right?
And I said to them, I said, guys, you know, listen, Rumble and SoulCycle, in my opinion, in the boutique fitness space, you do not have a brand until you see people walking into the studio, not taking a class, buying gear just because they can wear it proudly, walking down the street as a badge of honor.